I'm Rich Noonan for World Business Watch, a program in which we travel all over the country in search of our nation's best businesses. And we have found one of them today in the Cincinnati area, Landscaping by Don Gilb. Landscaping by Don Gilb has been making people's dreams come true since 1976. Think about that. People such as Reds and NFL broadcaster Tom Brenneman and his wife Polly. They wanted a great backyard area in which to entertain, and a friend told them they simply had to call Don.
A friend of ours who's probably the pickiest person I know on earth in general about everything was happy with Don Gilb, so if he's happy, I knew we'd be happy.
They did an unbelievable job. I think that my wife had said, when you asked her the question about how we came to find out about Don Gilb, I have a really good friend of mine that's like a second dad to me, who's a small business owner in Cincinnati and is extremely particular about the way his places look and the way his house looks. And so when we were thinking about doing this, he was the one that said to us, you really shouldn't look any further than going with Gilb. He said, because they're going to do a great job. They're nice people. They're easy to work with. They'll work with you if you've got a budget. Time constraints, whatever it might be. They couldn't have done a better job. We're very happy about it here 2 years later and would hire them again tomorrow.
There are a couple of things that set Landscaping by Don Gilb apart. The first is obvious, tons of experience. Don and his great team have done every type of landscape job imaginable, many times. And secondly, it's the Gilb style. Nobody buys more landscape jobs than builders. Tim Burks builds some of the nicest homes in this region, and his landscape company is Don Gilb. Tim says there's just something special about every Gilb job.
Don is a great guy to deal with. I like his designs. Everybody's got their own styles, and they're maybe landscapers. I got their own bushes and this and that they like. I really like Don's style. He uses a lot of texture in his walls. His plants that he installs are a nice size initially. His crews are very professional. If there is ever an issue, he's back to fix it. He does the sprinklers for us, outside lighting. You know, again, he's the kind of subcontractor you want working on your home.
Don Gilb has a fantastic team in the field. The guys who do the work are well trained, they show up on time, and they clean up. That's a given. But the Don Gilb design team is another big reason to hire Landscaping by Don Gilb. They are very well-educated guys. Don himself has a landscaping horticultural degree from The Ohio State University, and he's assembled a very talented group.
Eric, one of my designers, has a landscape architecture degree from the University of Kentucky, and it just does a great job. Dave's got a horticulture degree from Eastern Kentucky. My son Joe has a horticulture degree from Eastern Kentucky, and we work really well together, make a good team. 3 of us currently are doing most of the designing and selling, and we've got a management team that does a good job too.
This is not your average landscape company in many ways. It's so much more professional. I asked Don what he tells his team about quality and service.
I impress upon them that these people are spending a lot of money for our services, and you're working for them. You need to make them happy. Any add-ons during the job usually are no problem. If it's a major add-on, we'll talk to the customer about the additional cost, but if it's something simple, we just go ahead and do it. We try to instruct the customer on care of the plants after we leave. We continue to maintain a lot of our projects, but the ones that we don't, we want to make sure the customers understand what's needed in keeping the landscaping looking nice.
We saw many incredible landscape jobs while shooting with Don Gilb during the early fall. One of my favorites was what Don's team was able to do with this little courtyard. It's fantastic, with a really cool water feature and koi pond, the incredible outdoor entertaining areas and fireplace, even the embankment. Gilb built an awesome rock seating area here. I just love this. And the client is thrilled with his decision to hire Landscaping by Don Gilb.
You can just come here, relax. There's a pride factor that you have with my 14 grandchildren, and they love it back here, and they roast the s'mores or whatever they do. And we congregate back here instead of in the house. Eric kind of made it fun because he took the concept that I had, and frankly, I wouldn't know one plant from another by name. And it's probably the first time when it was done, I had 100% satisfaction from it.
Look at this incredible Don Gilb job. Sherry Griffin asked Don to build a serene prayer garden, a special quiet place with plantings and wonderful hardscaping. She says Don and his team were really able to capture what she'd envisioned.
It's perfect. In fact, we didn't make one change to his original plan. I'm not a plant person, so I'm picking colors and pointing and saying I like that. He brought it all together beautifully in way of lighting, plants, colors, water features. It's beyond what we ever could imagine.
Landscaping by Don Gilb is really good at tough lots like this one in Hyde Park. It's a small hillside separating two houses. Don Gilb's team created a beautiful space between the homes on the slope with no drainage problems, a wonderful double waterfall, and great plantings. Again, the homeowners just love it.
As you can imagine, sitting out here having dinner or reading or just relaxing, it takes out a lot of the sound. Because we are on a close lot here, it takes a lot of the sound away from the neighbors and whatnot. And it's very, very relaxing and beautiful.
The bottom line is this: whether you need a small space turned into something special or a several-tiered, complicated job with retaining walls, fireplaces, and lots of spaces for fun, Landscaping by Don Gilb is the right company. That's why so many people have Gilb on speed dial.
Anytime would recommend them, and if we were doing another project down the road, that'd be the first phone call that we make.
Landscaping by Don Gilb. Give the great team a call. Create that outdoor space that you've always wanted, like so many others have. For World Business Watch, I'm Rich Noonan. We'll see you next time.